Hello, everybody. Welcome back into another edition of Prime Sports World, coming to you on a Thursday, just a few minutes before the kickoff of Thursday Night Football. By the way, if you didn't know, if you do not have Amazon Prime, you cannot watch the Chargers-Chiefs game tonight. So the game's on Prime. It's not aired anywhere else. You have to go on the outside network in order to watch that football game. So just hope you guys all know that. So if you're looking to watch that game tonight, you're going to have to get Amazon Prime. Or if you live in the Los Angeles area or in the Kansas City area, that is your home team. So you'll get the game no matter what. So this show is pretty simple. Prime Sports World presents the Prime Sports World Games of the Week. These are all of our panelists, me, Christian, Matt, Izzy. We have all weighed in and picked a game that we think is the Prime Sports World Game of the Week that we are the most looking forward to in week number 2. So yeah, if you're looking towards the games, you're not really sure what to watch, these are the 6 games that we're watching here at Prime Sports World. Please hope you check them out. I have shared the StreamYard link into all of the places, including the main Prime Sports World Facebook page. So if you want to join us and talk a little bit about the games that we're sharing here, you're more than welcome to do so. So please feel free to welcome and join us when we talk about these football games. Let's talk about my game first. And my game is the battle between the game where it went up last season. The Miami Dolphins going into Baltimore and taking on the Baltimore Ravens. If you remember last season, this was kind of the turning point for the Dolphins season. They went into this game 1-8. After they won this game, they won 8 games in a row. They still missed the playoffs, but this was a real turning point for the Miami Dolphins, and it was really a turning point for this defense. They started playing really good after this game against Baltimore, and Baltimore was never really the same after they lost this game against Miami. Miami, if you look at their record right now, if you look at their record right now, they're 1-0. The points per game, 20. Points against is only 7. Their key players on offense, obviously, Tua Tagovailoa, Chase Edmonds is their starting running back. I think I might have misspelled that, but Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Mike Gesicki is their starting tight end, and Taron Armstead, who they signed in free agency to be their right tackle or left tackle. Key players on Xavier Howard, Jalen Phillips, Christian Watkins, and Melvin Ingram, who surprisingly still has some football left in his tank, played really well for them in week number 1. But yeah, looking at that on the Baltimore Ravens side, they're also 1-0. They beat the New York Jets. They're an opening night or opening weekend, 24 points per game, 9 points against. Key players on offense: Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, Kenyon Drake, who's the starting running back until J.K. Dobbins returns to the lineup. Rashad Bateman is the starting receiver. Morgan Molney and Devin Duvernay, who really shined out in week number 1, scoring 2 touchdowns in their first game. Key players on defense: Marlon Humphrey, Marcus Williams, Patrick Queen. Pretty cut and dry. This should be a really good, entertaining football game against 2 really good defenses and offenses that should be much improved. This is going to be a real test for Miami to see where they really are, their barometer game, to see where they really are when it comes to the upper echelon of the AFC. As you watched our show, the prediction show, I picked the Ravens to win this game just because they're at home. I also think they have a little more talent on the offensive side of the ball when it comes to Lamar Jackson over Tua Tagovailoa. But if you disagree with me, let me know. Moving on to TJ's game of the week. He has 2 teams that fell in week number 1 going head-to-head. The Arizona Cardinals going to Las Vegas, Nevada, taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. Their record for the Arizona Cardinals is 0-1. They scored 21 points per game. They allowed 44 points a game to the Kansas City Chiefs last week. Their key players on offense are Kyler Murray, James Conner, Hollywood Brown, Zach Ertz, Rondale Moore, and Kelvin Beachum. Key players on the defensive side of the ball: Budda Baker, Byron Murphy, Isaiah Simmons, Zach Allen. And then on the Las Vegas Raiders side, they're 0-1 as well after falling to the Chargers in an AFC matchup in week number 1. Points per game, 19. Points against, 24. Their key players on the offensive side of the ball is Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, third in Renfrow, first in Renfrow, second in Renfrow, fourth in Renfrow. Josh Jacobs and Colton Miller is their starting left tackle there for the Las Vegas Raiders. And the key players on defense, Chandler Jones, Max Crosby, Rocky Sin, and the hard-hitting safety, Jonathan Abram. These are 2 teams that are expected to be in the playoff hunt. Neither of these teams really want to fall 0-2. So it'll be interesting who gets up to schneid, who ends up winning this game as one of TJ's game of the week. The Arizona Cardinals going up against the Las Vegas Raiders. You watched the prediction show. I picked Las Vegas to win this game. Way down in the comments section, what you think is going to happen during this game with TJ's game of the week. To Christian Simpson's game of the week from a dailyblitz.blog. If you haven't gone onto his website and checked out his website, he puts some really good insight into some of the games that he predicts on his website. So please make sure you check out dailyblitz.blog. There you go, Christian. There's your shameless plug, man. Not even in the show, and you get a shameless plug. Tennessee coming into this game 0-1 after that defeating loss to the New York Giants, where their kicker missed the last second field goal that would have gave them the game. Points per game, 20 points against 20. Key players on offense, Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry, Austin Hooper, Robert Woods, Dontrell Hilliard, who had 2 receiving touchdowns last week. Taylor Lewan is the starting left tackle for your Tennessee Titans. Oh, shit. My bad, TJ. I didn't see you there, man. My bad, man. I didn't see you there in the queue, man. My bad, buddy. You don't know this, but I actually already went through your game. But let's just backtrack real quick. What was the mindset for why you picked this as your game of the week before we move on?
You got one team coming off a loss. Both teams coming off a loss. The team I'm talking about, the Raiders, they had a shot at the end. They tried to make a play down the stretch, but offensive line couldn't keep up the protection. Khalil Mack got home 3 times, which basically ended the game. I brought up a point about A.J. Brown playing with the Eagles. He got like 10 catches, 100 and whatever yards. Same thing with Devontae Adams for the Raiders. He had like 10 catches, 11 catches, 140 some yards. I say that to say Derek Carr can go into this game and quote unquote neglect the other targets that he has.
Hunter Renfrow was awesome last season. I think he only had like 2 targets in the entire game. So exactly. You can't have it.
I get it. Like, again, Devontae Adams, shiny new toy. You want to show him off. You want, hey, look at what I got now. But Hunter Renfrow and Darren Waller are very, very good at what they do. So it's supposed to be I'm ingratiating Devontae Adams and A.J. Brown into what we have here, not I have to ingratiate what I have to Devontae Adams and A.J. Brown. Those two, like the latter parts, are supposed to fit into what you do, not the other way around. And for Arizona, you're just hoping that your defense can come off a better performance. Hopefully, you have what's his name, J.J. Watt, this go around because he didn't play.
I don't. That seems very iffy at best. So I guess we'll see.
Like he didn't play at all. They were without a couple more key starters. Not that I think it would have mattered. I just think that the one key starter that you're going to be missing consistently is the X factor, right? You don't have DeAndre Hopkins, so it is what it is. Like you just don't hope what's his name, Derek Carr goes out there and lights you up for another 5 touchdowns because that'll be 10 touchdowns your defense has given up in 2 games.
It's true.
And that's not the start that you want. Cliff Kingsbury has already come out and said that we got to change our practice habits. I'm like, I don't know if Cliff Kingsbury knows this, but you're likely coaching for your job, dude.
It's true.
You really are. So yeah, and if you're the Raiders, just bounce back. Like you had a good showing against the Chargers. Like I get it, you got out to a late start. You made an effort of it late. You needed that one stop to get back in the game. You got it. It was just like I said, Khalil Mack is on the revenge tour, and he nipped all that in the bud. So I'm just hoping that they.
And we'll see how this game plays out. Real quick, this is my game. I picked the Baltimore Ravens going up against the Miami Dolphins. This is Christian Simpson's game. Tennessee Titans and Buffalo Bills, the second of the Monday night games. Buffalo 1-0, Tennessee coming off the loss to the Giants. There's the key players for the Tennessee Titans. You see the Buffalo Bills key players: Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Dawson Knox. You see it right there on the screen. I imagine Christian Simpson put this on his list because they had a bit of an epic last season where the Buffalo Bills went for it on fourth down as opposed to kicking the game time and field goal. Josh Allen tried to sneak it for the first down, did not convert. So now these teams are playing again in week number 2. Buffalo's surging off of beat up the Rams. The Titans are falling after they lost to the Giants. Just real quick insight. Also joining us here on the show is CEO of Prime Sports with Mr. Israel Vera. Just real quick insight into this game before we move on to Izzy's game.
Cool. Well, yeah. Go ahead, Izzy.
I was gonna say, I predicted the Bills to win this game. I think it's a little bit of a revenge game. Last year, Titans, beat them. Last couple of years, if I'm not mistaken, they beat them. So yeah, the Bills looking they're gonna come up hype, momentum. Well, I love what I saw out of them against the Rams. Like I said, they're playing against a high octane offense, and they basically shut them down for 4 quarters in the game. So and with a team that doesn't really have an aerial attack, that's pretty much one dimensional, they can really Buffalo can really get after it at all 3 levels of defense. I love Buffalo in this game, man. Like I said, man, this is gonna be a hell of a game. But you're really gonna see Josh Allen all year, really just be the best player on the field.
TJ.
Really, honestly.
Yeah, I remember the game last year. You talked about like they should have went for the tie. I'm like, no, always any chance you get, go for the win every time. Go for the win
Yep.
every time. Fun fact: the Buffalo Bills have not punted in 3 out of the last 4 games.
That's insane. Moving on to the CEO of Prime Sports Game of the Week. You got the Minnesota Vikings going into Philadelphia and taking off the Philadelphia Eagles. Both these teams 1-0. Minnesota at 23 points per game, 7 points allowed. Key players on offense: Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen, and Christian Darrisaw. Key players on defense: Patrick Peterson, Harrison Smith, Azarius Smith, and Daniil Hunter. On the Eagles side of this, they're 1-0 after beating the Detroit Lions. 38 points per game, allowed 35. Key players on offense: Jalen Hurts, Miles Sanders, Dallas Goedert, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Lane Johnson is their left tackle. Key players on the defensive side of the ball: Darius Slay, James Bradbury, Hassan Reddick, and Marcus Epps, who is their starting safety. Izzy, what was the mindset for picking this as your game of the week?
Well, really, it's a test for Jalen Hurts coming right out the gate. In my opinion, it's a team that he's gonna have to go tit for tat with offensively. Minnesota's gonna put up some points, but it's also gonna be a test for him. Going up against a solid safety in Harrison Smith, a solid pass rush with Daniil Hunter and Zadarius Smith. Minnesota's playing big in the secondary. They're playing some sets with 3 safeties. With Lewis Seen and I'm forgetting the other guy's name, but they're playing big with their safeties. And honestly, man, this is one of those games where it's you never know you don't know who's really gonna win this game, and it could go either way. Last week we did see Philly give up a lot of rushing yards, like David said. In our fantasy podcast, to DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams. This could be the same thing, right? They sewed up a little bit of their rushing defense from last year. They should be better this year. It's probably one of the best defenses in the league, right? So it's a big test for Philly coming right out the gate. And I think this could go either way. I think Philly could win this game in a multitude of ways. They're the best running football team in my opinion in the league. So I think that right now the story to this game is real big test for Jalen Hurts. Is he like the quarterback that we all like that we've been hearing of, the improved quarterback? If he tears up Minnesota, then yeah, he's for real. So that's why I picked this game, man.
Yeah, I think this could potentially be an NFC Championship matchup. I can see both these teams playing in the NFC Championship when all said and done. Yeah, I'm really high on both these teams. I think this is going to be a barn burner. It's a really interesting game to have on Monday night. TJ.
Yeah, it's again. I don't like I don't like when teams in general, not just the Eagles, because they did it. Like I don't like when teams in general Like when they get up big, they let their foot off the gas pedal, and you allow false hope, right? Like to David's point, you should have won that game against Detroit 38-14, 38-21, something
Yeah,
like
that
that.
game never should have been close. Like they allowed the Lions to sneak back in and made it interesting.
Right? So I it's gonna be interesting because now that they like the Lions don't have the offensive weaponry that the Vikings have.
No, they
Right?
for sure don't.
Like, come on, man! Like Justin Jefferson is better than every receiver that plays for the Detroit Lions
Combined.
combined.
Absolutely. Adam Thielen might. Well, I don't know about Amon Ra, but Adam Thielen is definitely
Right?
probably would be
Yeah.
one of the best or the best wide receiver on that team.
Yeah,
Right? Like,
we'll see how this game plays out. It's an interesting matchup of two of the should be one of the upper echelon teams in the NFC. Moving on to Matt's game of the week: Chicago Bears going into Lambeau, taking on the angry. I have these records totally flipped. Anyways, the Chicago Bears 1-0 after they beat the San Francisco 49ers. 19 points per game. They allowed just 10 key players on offense: Justin Field, Darnell Mooney, David Montgomery, Cole Kmet, Larry Borum, and Cody Whitehair. Key players on defense: Jalen Johnson, Eddie Jackson, Robert Quinn, and Roquan Smith. And the Packers 0-1 coming off that devastating loss to the Minnesota Vikings. 7 points per game, allowing 23. Aaron Rodgers, A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones, Sammy Watkins, Josh Myers, and Robert Tunyon. Shout out the offensive players on the key players on offense. Key players on defense: Jair Alexander, Rashawn Gary, Kenny Clark, and Devondre Campbell. So why do we think Matt may have picked this game as his game of the week? Let me go ahead and break that record for real.
Rivalry game.
right,
Baby.
for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I mean,
Honestly, you ain't gotta put a timer on me. I'm gonna just keep it simple and short with the Green Bay Packers. Y'all gotta do better. That's it. I've already done enough talking all week about them.
Yeah.
TJ, right there. I don't
True.
do too much damn talking. Just do better.
Real talk. Like this is one of those games where, well, like I said the other day, like if I'm Green Bay, that first play I ran against Minnesota,
I'm running it again. Yeah.
I'm running it again. Like I'm running it again, and this is also one of those games where like it doesn't do Green Bay justice if they win, because it's like look at the team you're going against, right? Like it's a lose-lose situation for the Green Bay Packers. Like if you win, good, you beat a team that you're supposed to beat. But if you lose, it's like, what is really going on here?
Yeah.
So
I think it doesn't surprise me at all that Matt James picked this to be his game of the week, as he is the biggest Bear fan I know. Yeah, he's the homer to the home. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all that he picked this game to be his game of the week in the slightest.
Hey, it's better to get a W than to get an L. I'll tell you that right
I mean,
now.
Of course, obviously.
But look for
I'll take a W over anybody right now.
but like look for I 100% expect the game plan to be more involvement for Romeo Dobbs and Christian Watson, like because you have to, right? Like you gotta.
I mean, those are the guys that are going to carry him. It's not going to like if everybody knows who Randall Cobb is at this point. He's not going to all of a sudden become this dynamic wide receiver. Christian Watson is the other guys that need to step up.
Same thing with Alan Lazard.
Yeah.
Jalen Johnson was looking like a shutdown corner last week, man. So,
Yeah,
and there's nobody on the Packers wide receiver core that scares me, or probably that scares the Chicago Bears secondary. Don't scare Eddie Jackson. Don't scare Jalen Johnson. So those guys gonna be playing with a lot of momentum. Don't scare Roquan Smith for damn sure. You know,
Well, I think
and this offensive line doesn't scare Robert Quinn for damn sure. As long as Bakhtiari still doesn't play.
Well, I think that the long it's what we always say. Like it's as long as Rodgers is throwing the ball, that's the guy you got to worry about, right? Like it doesn't matter who's it matters who's catching the ball, but as long as 12 is back there throwing it, like I get it. We say like as long as you got him, you have a chance, but we have to stop saying that because at the end of the day, he's only one dude. He can't overcome everything. So
this has been the first time, TJ. This has been the first time like Rodgers has had hasn't had like a dominant weapon because at the wide receiver position. Even when Devontae Adams was a rookie, he still had Randall Cobb in his prime.
I mean, he had Jordy Nelson at that point.
You know what I mean? So it's like he's literally out there with guys that he's not comfortable with. And so
Well,
that's
I mean, if he
that's
played a little bit in the preseason, maybe could have gotten comfortable with him. That's a here, no there. Let's move on to the final game, the prime game of the week, the game that is getting underway right now or may have just started. As I mentioned at the top,
Probably just started.
as I mentioned at the top of this show, if you do not have Prime, Amazon Prime, you cannot watch this game. You need to have Amazon Prime in order to watch it. It features the Los Angeles Chargers going into Arrowhead and taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Both these teams are 1-0. Points per game, the Chargers 24. Points against 19. Key players: Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, Mike Williams, Rashawn Slater, Gerald Everett, and Corey Linsley is the center. Key players on defense: Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, Derwin James, and Kenneth Murray Jr. On the Chiefs side of this, they're 1-0. They were the highest scoring team in week number 1 at 44. 21 points a game. A lot of that came in garbage time. Key players on offense: Patrick Mahomes, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Travis Kelce, Orlando Brown Jr., Juju Smith-Schuster is the starting wide receiver for that team. And then defense: Frank Clark, Chris Jones, Justin Reed, Nick Bolton is the starting linebacker, mic'd up linebacker for the Kansas City Chiefs. And I picked this game because I'm surprised nobody else didn't. This is the second week in a row where I thought for sure somebody picked a game and they didn't, so I put it in as the prime consensus prime pick of the game of the week. This is going to be a barn burner. I expect it to be high scoring. I expect it to be entertaining. It is on TV literally right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Kansas City literally just punted the ball away. Obvious reasons, right? Like this is everybody's watching the AFC West. This is the division to keep an eye on for the entire season because you have 4 teams. Probably for the first time ever. I don't think there's ever been a division where all 4 teams have a legitimate shot at not only winning the division, but all 4, if it's possible, all 4 teams making the playoffs. I don't know if that's possible, but it's the fact that it's a possibility is crazy. If you're the Kansas City Chiefs have won this division the last 6 years or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute.
Dating back to Alex Smith. Now
It's been like the Alex Smith days for real, for sure.
Like now, Pat Mahomes comes in. It's like, oh well, we're just gonna keep running this over here, like But if you're the Chargers, yeah, this is why you made the moves you make. J.C. Jackson's playing tonight.
Yeah.
All right, Khalil Mack is coming off a 3-sack game. So, and this is why you make a trade for him. I gotta make Patrick Mahomes as uncomfortable as possible.
Jing Lin, thank you very much for your comment. We appreciate it very much here at Prime Sports World. He just said, "Wow, awesome." I picked this game. Yeah, it's going to be a barn burner. It should be really entertaining. I'm looking forward to watching it. I got to figure out how I'm going to watch it because I don't want to watch it on my phone or on my computer. So I got to figure out how to connect Amazon Prime to my TV. Which is I'm going to try to do after this show is over because I haven't had time because I went to work and then I went to the gym.
You probably get the 7-day free trial and try it out, David. Try it
Just a bit.
try it out. It's what, $5? How much is Amazon Prime? $10 a month?
Hey man, not all of us have Izzy money, CEO money. Okay.
No, shut up. Get out of here. Let me put my 2 cents on this game, man. Hey, you know what? No Keenan Allen tonight, guys. So, guys like Josh Palmer, guys like Gerald Everett, definitely Mike Williams.
Yeah, DeAndre Carter, baby.
Yeah, are going to be big for the Chargers. Austin Eckler, I expect him to have a big game today, receiving and running the football. So, but I still expect Justin Herbert to get his, even though Keenan Allen is out. And then on Kansas City side, are we going to see the spread the wealth like what Pat Mahomes did last week, right? He was spreading the wealth around. He got it to Juju. He got it to MVS. He got it to Sky Moore. He definitely got it to Travis Kelce. He definitely got it to Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and he got it to the other guy. I can't even remember his name now.
He threw touchdowns to 2 other tight ends in that game too. It was a tight end block party. 3 tight ends scored a touchdown in that game.
Penny Forston.
Yeah, that's his name. Yeah.
Penny Forston. Yeah, so it's interesting to see, if that spread the wealth. And I think we already kind of said it, right? We're impressed with Pat Mahomes week 1, and we already kind of said it. They were going to have to do that anyways without Tyreek Hill being a dominant wide receiver. So, that just attests to Pat Mahomes, as a QB. So, interesting to see that. But I got KC winning by a slim margin, but I think it's going to be a barn burner.
I think it's going to be a barn burner too. So hopefully you guys are all getting a chance to watch that game tonight. That is our prime game of the week. Kansas City Chiefs going up against the Chargers. And that has been our Prime Sports World Games of the Week for week number 2. So those are the games to keep your eye on as you are watching football this weekend. Just take our advice. Those games are going to be entertaining. Please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast because we go live basically every single day. And soon tomorrow, where the our college football show is going to air Friday nights. Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, depending on where you are. The crossover is going to be back. Me and TJ are going to be breaking down that Southeast division that includes the Miami Heat on Saturday morning / afternoon, depending on where you are in the United States or in the world. You never know.
We might have to push that back to like Saturday afternoon because I got a funeral to go to Saturday.
Okay, we'll talk in the group chat.
All right.
But this has been Prime Sports World, and what we do here at Prime Sports World, my friends,
we bring the heat.
We bring the heat, son. Where's my pen at? Damn it.
You mean light?
We bring the heat. No, dude, that was
that was bad. That was bad.
It was a prop, damn it! It was a prop, y'all. I don't think I ate them damn s'mores, okay?
It's not okay.
Hey, I got a football game to watch. You guys can talk about this conversation in the group chat. We will see you guys over the weekend. Y'all have a good weekend. Take it easy, buddies. Peace out.